Ladies and gentlemen, I have made my return to this platform, YouTube, to make a SummerSlam predictions video. Now, SummerSlam is this weekend, Saturday, 2nd of August, Sunday, 3rd of August, 11 pm UK time, 6 pm Eastern, and 3 pm Pacific. It is on Netflix internationally in the US and on Peacock. No, sorry about that. It is on Netflix internationally and it is on Peacock in the US. You get bloopers. Um, so I'm gonna do the card as like Saturday's card, no particular order, and then I'll do Sunday's card, and then I'll do my predictions. Now, Saturday's card, we have Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. We've already seen them fight two before. It's going to be a banger again. We have Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Going to be a banger. We have Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. The feud has been amazing. We have Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. Obviously, Jade Cargill won the Queen of the Ring tournament, so she's going to claim her opportunity for the title at SummerSlam against Tiffany Stratton. We have Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss for the women's tag team titles. They're not friends, but they are, if you know what I mean. And then we have CM Punk versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, and that is your Saturday card. CM Punk versus Gunther will main event Saturday. CM Punk won't only get to main event WrestleMania this year, but he will get to main event SummerSlam. Will he win the World Heavyweight Championship? Do I think he's going to win the World Heavyweight Championship? Watch the rest of the video to figure out. Now, here is the Sunday card. We have a ladder match. Remember, this is no particular order, so we don't know if it's going to kick off the show or not. We have the Wyatt Six of Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis. We have the Street Profits of Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. We have Andrade versus Ray versus. We have Andrade and Ray Phoenix. We have Motorcycle Machine Guns of Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. We have Fraxium of Nathan Fraser and Axiom. We have DIY of Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. I'm ready to read out the winners list that I think who's going to win, but I'm not going to read it out yet. Hold on, we'll wait. And then we have Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental title. That feud has been hilarious. If you've been watching the weekly episodes, it's just been amazing. And then we have Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu in a steel cage match for the United States Championship. We have Becky Lynch versus Lana Valkyria in a no disqualification match. We have a triple threat match between Naomi, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. And we have John Cena and Cody Rhodes in a street fight for the undisputed WWE Championship. Now let's get into the predictions, starting with night one. Now, night one, I'm just going to start the same order that I've done with reading it out. Now, night one, we're going to start with Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Now, this feud, I think I've had two matches. Yeah, two matches. Night of Champions and an episode of Raw. But the matches were amazing. Obviously, Kross has been tagging behind. He's been injured and all that. And I think that Karrion Kross will pick up the win here and show more of his strength. I'm not saying he's got any strength. I'm not saying he's not getting any strength. But I just think he's going to pick up the win here and get that W. So Karrion Kross for that. And then we have Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed with little penguin Paul Heyman at the side of the ring. They're not going to bring Roman Reigns back for nothing. What I mean by that is they're obviously going to get a W. So I think Roman Reigns and Jey for that. But could we see Seth? Could we see an appearance from Seth Rollins? Could Seth Rollins come out in the match? As G said, I'm kind of just saying what G said because this is a good idea. Credits to G for this idea. G Wrestle Talk, G Wrestle on here, G Wrestle Talk on TikTok. Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, so if Seth Rollins comes out to the ring and gives Braun Breaker the briefcase so he can cash in because Seth is injured, or maybe Seth comes later on the night, but we'll get to that. Now, yes, and I think Roman and Jay will win because they're not going to bring Roman back for nothing. Roman just to lose, or maybe Roman goes on a rampage. You never know, but I think Roman and Jay will win. And then we have Randy Orton and Jay Lethal versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. I'm Scottish, I was in a Scottish accent, which I shouldn't really do. It was a northern accent I was doing, but anyway. WWE like their celebrities. They love their celebrities. Jay Lethal, like, I love Jay Lethal, right? I love his songs and all that. If you watch my streams, I will stream Summerslam. I'll mention at the end of the video. I sing, right? You'll probably realise that I have a wee sing song during the middle. I'll probably sing to Jay Lethal's entrance, but anyway. They love their celebrities, and do they want their celebrities to lose? No. They never want their celebrities to lose. So that in that case, the winners from my predictions are Jay Lethal and Randy Orton. And then we have Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. And again, they're going to do the Queen of the Ring for nothing. This match is going to be a banger. These two are one of the WWE's top female competitors. But as I said, what they're going to do, the Queen of the Ring for nothing. So I think Tiffany Stratton's had the title long enough. She's had it since January 3rd. I know the exact date because it was on YouTube, because it wasn't on USA Network. It wasn't TNT Sports. It was on YouTube. Because it was middle of the Netflix move. So I think Jade Cargill should win this, and Jade Cargill should go on a Rampage Championship run. Then we have the tag team title match between Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Now, I see Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss going places, like most people. And I think this tag team was going to be like a hate friend, faux friend, but I think they're starting to kind of get the memo of, okay, right, we're in a tag team, we need to be friends, and they are actually friends now. But I think they're going to work together in this match, and they're going to dominate the Judgment Day of Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, and they're going to pick up the win. They're going to be the new Women's Tag Team Champions, and they are going to start some drama up in the Judgment Day for Liv Morgan coming back from injury. And then we have the main event of the evening. We have CM Punk, Mr. Pepsi Film, Mr. Phil Brooks. Yes, I'm using his real government name. Versus the Ring General, Gunther. Right. If you know me, I'm a big fan of CM Punk, right? But I don't think he's going to win. So there you go. Gunther is going to win, but I'm going to tell you why. Gunther is this powerhouse, right? So is CM Punk, but CM Punk isn't as much of a powerhouse as Gunther. WWE are looking to have Gunther more dominant in this title run, and I don't think he's going to lose it yet. So Gunther for that, sadly. I thought Seth was going to cash in there, but the more I think into it, I don't think Seth is going to cash in. And then we move on to Sunday's card. Remember? Oh, I thought I read something out again. Never mind. See my recap the start of the thing. Never mind. This is my first YouTube video in about 6 months, so bear with me. We have a ladder match against the Wyatts. With the Wyatts versus the Profits, Street Profits. Versus Andrade and the Rey Phoenix versus Motor City Machine Guns versus Fraxium versus DIY. 6-pack ladder match. What a match this is going to be. I'm sticking with a lot of people here. Well, from what I've seen. And we need to see Fraxium win these titles. We've seen them win the NXT titles. What a run that was. That was a fantastic run. I just want to see what they can do in the main roster with the tag titles. This match is going to be a banger, and if I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of flexible teams in this match, but I think you're going to use the most flexibility to get up the top of the ladders and grab the title. So Fraxian for the win. Then we have Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles for the IC title, aka Intercontinental title. Dominic Mysterio, let's just start off with this. A fantastic talent. If you don't love Dominic Mysterio, what are you doing with your life? You know what I mean? It's a bit upsetting the fact that they're not using his title. They're just keeping him on the sidelines and all that. So for that fact, I want the phenomenal AJ Styles to win that match. Now, what I think they're going to do, which you can see that they're going down the road, right? But I think, do you know what? I'm going to mention at the end of the video because it ruins my predictions. Okay. So AJ Styles for that. And then we have Sol Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu in a steel cage match for the United States Championship. Sol's got his bloodline, right? And Jacob's got Jimmy. Jacob could have Jay. He could have Roman. He maybe couldn't have Roman. Because think about all the things that... But anyway. He could have them. But nothing's going to be as powerful as Sol's bloodline. So for that fact, I think they're going to chuck some weapons into the ring and they're going to help Solo win this match. They're going to stand at the side and they're going to, obviously I said it right, but they're going to do that and they are going to help Solo Sikoa, the MFT member, not the bloodline member. Anyway, and Solo Sikoa will be still your United States champion. And then we have the women's IC title match. It's a no disqualification match between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Two women from Dublin fighting for the fifth time for this title. It's no disqualification, right? There's obviously going to be chaos. Bayley's probably going to get involved. And obviously, if Lyra Valkyria loses this match, she can never challenge for the title as long as Becky Lynch holds it. So for that matter, I want to see how this actually works, and I want the man Becky Lynch to win this match. Pardon me. To Becky Lynch for that, and I just want to see how this works because I'm dead curious. We've mentioned it for ages. I want to see if Lyra's jealous and she wants to get into a feud again, and Adam Pearce goes off his nut, that type of stuff. So Becky Lynch for that one. And then we have the triple threat match between Naomi, Rhea, and Io. I'll say their full names. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Naomi's literally just won the title. She won it at Evolution at the start of this month. It's July 31st. July 30th on the 10th of this recording. She won it at the start of this month. And she ain't losing that anytime soon. As much as I love Rhea and Io, she ain't losing that anytime soon. So I think that Naomi will retain the title and come out strong at SummerSlam. And then we have the main event of the evening of both SummerSlams. We have the main event of the evening to finish off SummerSlam between John Cena and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship in a street fight. Now, I think that there's going to be an appearance from The Rock during this. So, for that matter, John Cena's winning. And Cody Rhodes is going to go film a movie for 6 months. So, I don't see how it makes sense that Cody Rhodes would win that and then he'd just go for the title. Unless there's a CM Punk. But you know what I mean. But anyway, folks, that was my SummerSlam's predictions video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Oh, sorry. I keep doing this. I need to tell you something about the stipulation with the AJ Styles thing. Now, as obviously I want AJ Styles to win the IC title. That's my prediction. Now, practically, I think they're going to do AJ Styles versus John Cena at Clash in Paris for a double title match, and that will make John Cena a Grand Slam champion. Now, that was Triple H's two aims during John Cena's farewell run. There's moth. Excuse me for that. Oh, okay. The camera's now falling. Sorry about that. But yeah, and I think that'll come in my Clash in Paris. Why am I reading that? If that even is a match. But yeah, that was my SummerSlam predictions video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. Subscribe if you want. I don't care. And put on the notifications if you want. I don't. It doesn't matter to me. Yeldy.